so now this part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Now, first, I'd like to ask about your hometown. What kind of place is your hometown?
Definitely, I can say that my hometown is more like a countryside.
Okay, tell me about the most interesting place in your hometown.
That's an interesting question. I think is the most interesting place in my hometown is Đại Lake. Uh, Đại Lake have attracted so many tourists, and it has their own beauty and attraction.
Now, what changes would you like to make to your hometown?
I think I'd like to change my hometown atmosphere. Uh, uh, my hometown atmosphere is not really fresh and is definitely populated by the factory near Danelek.
All right, so now let's move on to talk about animals. What kind of animals are popular pets in your country and why?
My hometown is a countryside, so you can may see many dog, cats, and buffaloes, of course.
How are animals in your country used for work?
Mm, uh, if animal used for work like the petty field work, we will use buffalo and cow. To work the house, we will use dog, and to catch the mouse, we will use cats.
Are there any animals in your country that have special significance?
As I mentioned, the buffalo is the most significant animals in my hometown. This animal help us with our pet harvest, and so we can have like more effects. We will do this more effectively without human struggles.
All right, so let's talk about about travel. How easy is to travel in your country?
In some places in my country, it's very easy to get in, but in some places like the village under the mountain is very hard because the rough area.
What form of transport is the most popular and why?
As I mentioned before, the hardest, um, the, the it's hard for us to move in the rough areas such as the village under the mountain or in the mountain.
Are there any parts of your country that are difficult to travel to? Why and why not?
I think that it's hard for us to move up to the mountain because the rough area and so many trees, so many rocks that is stuck.
Okay, let's move to part 2. Here you will going to describe an environmental problem that has occurred in your country. Now you should say the cause of the problem, what effect it has had on your country, the steps, if any, that have been taken to solve this, and explain why you think this problem is so important to solve.
Well, recently my country had a big flood in the central regions that have made many people dead through it. This flood is maybe the biggest flood ever in my country. Is maybe it destroyed the harvest, make our economy severely degraded. Many people died during this.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's move to part 3. So here we've been talking about a course you have done that you found useful, and I'd now like to ask you some questions related to this. First, let's consider homework. Do you think it is important that children are given homework?
I think it's important to give children homework so they can learn their last lesson effectively that they can remember long.
Right. How much homework should they be given?
That's a tough question. Just a variable amount of homework, such 3 to 5 homeworks.
Do you think parents should help their children with their homework or should it be done alone?
In some situations, children have to done it alone, but in some situations, such as the hard exercise, parents have to be with the children to have them to be done with homework.
Alright, now we'll discuss the relationship between education and work. How important is it to have a university education to get a job in your country?
Maybe it's very important if you have like a graduation from a university, you can get a job which is you can do it not it's not take you lots of your health, but you can get a high salary.
Does having a degree from another country enhance employment opportunities in your country?
Of course, just an example, if you have band 9 on the IELTS, you can get to a great company, then you can get a high salary.
What impacts do students who have studies abroad have on their country or region when they come home?
There are so many impacts, such as the different countries' education, technology, and maybe some kind of food. So it's like very important for those who are born to bring their education to improve our country, make our country to be the first country.
That's it? Yes, good job. Okay, you say goodbye now.
Goodbye.